The shoebill, Balaeniceps rex, also known as whale-headed stork, or shoebill stork, is a very large stork-like bird. It derives its name from its enormous shoe-shaped bill. It has a somewhat stork-like overall form and has previously been classified with the storks in the order Ciconeiformes based on this morphology. However, genetic evidence places it with pelicans and herons in the Pelicaniformes. The adult is mainly gray while the juveniles are browner. It lives in tropical East Africa in large swamps from South Sudan to Zambia. They are docile with humans and show no threatening behavior.
Except this one is an indie horror game, so I imagine it's not going to be quite as cheery. Right then, so good evening ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shoebill Nightmare. Unfortunately, that introduction spoiled a joke I was going to tell you, but never mind. I was going to say, this is not a game about a trip to a very expensive cobbler's, but that's rather spoiled it because it's already told you that it's about a big bird. But never mind. You have been staying out in a cabin in the past week at a freshwater swamp, and are ready to go home. As you get back to your car and reach into your pockets, you realise you have forgotten your keys. You must now go back to get them. Indeed, I have pressed enter and not a great deal has happened, and now I am worried. Ah dear. Oh, no. Good, I managed to shut the game down, but I didn't manage to start it. Oh no, and now we've got to listen to the audiobook of the Wikipedia page again. No! Huzzah. Second time around. It's always lovelier the second time around. The button actually worked this time. Right then. Ooh, good looky the odds. Credits, I nearly fell into my cardboard boxcar, unfortunately, there for a second. Right then, yes, so good evening ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a little game called Shoebill Nightmare. It seems to be about this big spooky bird. Right then, beware, beware of this very cross-looking creature. It doesn't look that cross actually, it looks sort of old and wise. You imagine it being a character in a cartoon of some sort of bird which has to be visited by some young, excitable character for a bit of advice. Goodness, it's very dark. Especially, I guess this is the swampy bit I'm waltzing around in. Quite quiet as well, but I can hear something. Hello. Goodbye. I have a distinct impression you're going to murder me. So if you don't mind, sir, I'm going to go the opposite direction. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That was not the most dignified fly swat you've ever seen in your life, but and I can say that with absolute certainty, if you've never seen, even if you've never seen one before, that was not the most dignified attempted one. But never mind. Such is the joys of summer. Do you get many flies in swamps? I imagine that you do. I imagine that these places are full of spooky monsters, such as this one. Its feet look like the roots of trees. It's a bit scary. Mind you, a big bird with a big old beak is probably the least terrifying and least absurd resident of a swamp you could find in an indie horror game. I sincerely hope we don't end this game with a joke about some green-skinned gentleman. Right then, did I leave my keys in the outhouse? It would seem that I did not. Right then, ooh, goodness. When in contact with a shoebill, bow to show respect if you are a person with a neck as long as the Autobahn. You now know to bow to the shoebill. I do not, however, know how to do that, or what button to press. Is it space? No. Or do I just, like, look down like that? Is that what I do? Alright. That's interesting. Okay. I left the key to the cabin by one of the rocks. So that when people have the misfortune of tripping over and breaking their neck on one of these rocks, at least they can have the little sweetener to the deal that they can actually get back in the house now. where they can presumably find some medicine and bandages with which to strap back their nose together. Aha! Cabin key has been picked up. I can hear a noise, but I can't identify what it is. I think there's a bird by that tree. Goodness, it looks really, really dark for you. OBS always picks things up darker than I do for some bizarre reason. But, off in the distance there was a tree. And beside it there was something not very pleasant. But I shall bow to tell it how much I love it. Alright, here are my car keys. Excellent. Can I have any of this other stuff, please? What's with the big shipping crates, exactly? Must be the lack of the windows and the lack of the bathroom. This can't have been a very nice place to stay. Oh yeah, because of the outhouse. That's why I don't have a bathroom. Well, there doesn't seem to be anyone here yet. And the figure that was by this tree seems to have vanished. This is definitely Kitty. That was a little unfair. That was not a very spooky spook you tried to spook me with. I can't go this way. Oh goodness, I am not permitted to get my feet wet, it would seem. I shall catch my death of cold if that happens to me. Alright then, I suppose I'll have to return the way that I came originally. I can't hide in here for a little while, can I? Presumably not. Can I run? No, I can't. Alright then. You could pick up the pace a little bit, friend. But, we'll see what happens. Someone's hammering on a bit of corrugated iron. Alright, fair enough. Bit of an odd thing to do in a swamp. But to each their own. Good, that's a signpost, not a monster. So you can't get me twice. You can't get me twice with a silly spooky jump scare. Not until you distract me with something like a cake or something. Is this the same sign as before? No, this is the sign that kills the audio. Alright, I'm going to preemptively do a bow just in case there's a monster a little bit close and he would like to precisely how precisely how much respect I have for him and his race of big-beaked birds. That tertiary jump scare only really got me because hello. Now, do I need to constantly bow? Are you just a 2D model? You are, aren't you? That's a bit of a shame, but never mind. You're a bit too well defined to be anything else. Just bow again. Bow again. Do I have to keep my head bowed the entire time? Or, oh dear. Good, I've now broken my neck. Okay, so you do that for me. Thank you, player, character, person, protagonist, person. I appreciate that. I'll just do another one just to be sure, and you like to wiggle your head a little bit when you do that. Alright then, fair enough. Presumably he doesn't mind if I present my buttocks to him, so, we'll trot off. Right then, adventure complete. We're now going to cut to a scene inside the car, and I'm going to look over at the passenger seat and see if he is there. Presumably not. We're just going to go back to the desktop because that's in fashion. Also irritating, but never mind. Alright then, I presume that there is... Oh no, that means I have to listen to the audiobook again. No! Presumably there's one more ending whereby you don't see the, note. Because it said you now know to bow. But I'll go through it again and see whether I can not see the note and see what happens if I don't bow and if I get murderized by a big bird. So give us a minute and I'll do that for us. Okay. Really does sound like someone's crying out loud. It really does sound like someone's unleashing some kind of beat down copper onto a bit of shed roof with that sound effect. I presume that's not what it is. Anyway, I missed a spook. When we walked into the house and the light flickered for a moment, there was the picture of the bird in the doorway to the bedroom, who then sort of darted behind the doorway so you couldn't see him. I missed that the first time around, so that was a bit sad. I don't know, to bow to you. It's like a fight scene when everyone's eyes squint. Oh no, he's gone! Or possibly she, I can't tell the difference. Okay, she's gone. So, presumably they're going to appear in the road and murder me, or, set off the cat. Oh, good afternoon. Oh dear. Oh, hello. Goodness, you are a very big bird, aren't you? Going to do something spooky? Probably not, otherwise all of these video filters wouldn't be necessary. It's probably just a nice friendly bird that's not going to hurt anybody and looks like it's got a big grin on its face. I like its hair. It reminds me of the head of Adam Bomb from the Garbage Pail Kids. It's big wings, doesn't it? I wonder what its wingspan is. Gideon, I can stand No, that was the unleashing of a beatdown combo upon a shed roof. Right. I quite like that. It's silly, it's basic, it's simple, but the sound design is nice, and it's one of those rare games where you actually just sort of see the enemy watching you at the beginning and just observing you, and then later coming along to kill you, which is kind of cute because it makes them seem like a hunter, a wolf among sheep, if you like. But this little lamb has had enough of that, I think. That was yeah, that's quite sweet. I quite enjoyed that. I hope you did as well.